Gameplay. We are playing Fallout 4. We are having fun in the beautiful apocalyptic Commonwealth. And we're just doing some missions. I think we're doing the, of course, like always, I always seem to have started a new tune, right? We're,
This shouldn't take long.
playing on hard difficulty.
Time to reel him in.
I have a 38 caliber combat rifle with explosive shot. That's what my gun is. And we are exploring, looking around. Oh, I think the last...
Not even in the slightest.
Get him, Codsworth. I think the last broadcast that I did, we were playing survival mode, and you know, I gotta hand it to anyone who could get through survival mode, like flat out, no cheating. It is some seriously tough gameplay, and I can't do it right now. Maybe at some point I'll come back to that character. It's already saved and everything in there. And, but what I did really enjoy about it was the not fast traveling anymore. To actually run, you know, or go everywhere that you're trying to go on foot. And run in and out of the buildings. And I even had a mod that was like, fast travel from anywhere, you know? So you could fast travel like from inside of buildings. You know how a lot of times they don't want you to... You gotta go back outside before you can fast travel. Well, it let you bend those parameters and fast travel even from in buildings. But now I've gone the complete other route. There is something to running around in the Commonwealth that it's just a whole lot of fun. Get him, Contra. Okay, wow. And yeah, that's basically the only way I'm cheating, so I don't have a whole lot of, like, other crap. So, I'm getting stamped pretty bad. I forgot to cook my meat too, of course. But I've got a couple other things, it looks like. Some cram. Oh my god, all that and it didn't even... Wow. How many stim packs do I have then? 14. Alright, well I've got a few points. I'm definitely going to put them in here, and then ghoulish. Oh god, I got just enough. No, but I need 2 more points to fill out this ghoulish, and then I'll even regen from rats. But now I'll have a small healing factor that'll really help. And my stim packs will actually do a lot. Jeez. one hell of a pre-enter to the building firefights here. Buttholes, where are they? Very good. Way up there, huh? Two of them. Alright. Well, that takes care of that. And we're all healed up and ready to go. Start at the ground floor. A lot of times I start on the second floor, going up that scaffolding right outside. Go up those stairs, but we're going to come out. And then maybe we could go up there if we want to. There's a bobblehead way up there. Maybe we should go up there and get that. We are, oh, sorry, Cosworth. We are playing on very, or hard difficulty.
End of the line. Oh, hell no!
Man, please don't be pharaohs again. You're still alive? Christ. Shit's got ambush all over it. Must have been a person. Fucking seeing those noise. Just noise. What the?
Codsworth? Thought that was them pulling open that door.
The chat will make you jittery. Yeah, I'm gonna tear your fucking throat out. Arms up, asshole. Ain't nothing.
That's what I love about explosive is like you can shoot around corners. And I'm not the best aimer, so it marksman, I guess I could say. So it's really helpful to have it distracted here. Okay. Ooh, toy car. And other than this gun, basically, I'm using carry weight mod, and then I have another 10mm gun.
My arm is broken.
So some carry weight and a couple beginner level guns, a 38 and a 10mm. Right, like we all know, they're not very powerful. So I didn't want to ruin the like as I get legendary weapons, they're likely to be better than this rifle. So I fully expect, and that's the whole point, that if I find in-game legendaries, they'll actually feel legendary.
Thought you could hide?
No bobby pins.
I don't have any bobby pins. I can't believe I don't have any bobby pins. Alright. Get him, Codsworth. He's my gangster homie.
Ain't personal. It's you or me.
I'm not even sweating.
Of course
Cut that out.
I got your back, Codsworth. I got your back, MC Cataract. Double back. Alright, now I can get those last 2 points in ghoulish, I think. Nope, I have to wait till 50 to get the very last one. Oh, that's disappointing, but we can still max out science or lock picking. Let's go for science. And thankfully this time we can actually skip out on strong back perk. It's such a point sink to get that. I mean, obviously they know you're going to need to be able to carry weight to do absolutely everything in the game. And so it's like guaranteed that you need that. So that doesn't feel like as much as of a perk. It's like more like a core game thing. I don't know. For whatever reason, it just feels different for me. Like it's not quite... You know, I always feel like if it's unrealistic that we could carry a ton, then why can't we carry a ton when we start out, you know? I mean, it's unrealistic that a person could carry around 300 and something pounds all the time. That's ridiculous. I mean, even a soldier's heavy pack, I think, weighs less than 100. But whatever. It's a game. I know there's not really... They wouldn't be able to... in real life have a gun with legendary effects, but in a way you could argue that they could. You know, some guns are more accurate or more this or more that. Capacity, powerful. That's sort of legendary in a way.
What's all this? What's all this? Not this time. I was a job.
Need to get some armor here soon.
Better than that. Are we still having fun? Aha! There you are. Feel free to give up at any time. Everyone's still alive.
Alright. Let me see here. Anything new whatsoever? Wait, what's that? A metal chest piece? Yeah, nice. Go ahead and throw that on there. Wow,
Nice to have mementos.
good start. Grab this magazine here.
Who's out there? Just die!
And I also got really used to like saving only at a mattress, but I get tired of those hunger and thirst effects. It's just, I got enough to think about when I play this game, and I'm enjoying myself enough, but it is fun. I'm not saying I'm done with it, but it's an acquired taste, and It kind of pushes the limit of what I actually enjoy about this game, or RPSs, which are my favorite genre of game, which this is. So yeah, that really pushes my boundaries of enjoyable gameplay. It's the save thing that really gets me. I don't mind fast traveling, the added difficulty is one thing, but like, we should still be able to quick save. I think that one's a little bit ridiculous. Alright. Now we're gonna leave through this door, which we get our own little exit. Pardon me for 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot to grab water before I started this podcast or broadcast here, and so I needed to get myself some water. I apologize. Now let me get a drink of it, and we can continue to head upon our way. Cedar baseball bat. Alright, we got a few stragglers out here, I think. We could probably pick off without raising too many red flags. Got a great shot right there.
Picking up hostile life signs.
I like that Codsworth doesn't really get hit like Ada or whatever when she has those legs. There's something about this explosive shot, it fucking drops her constantly, where Codsworth doesn't even take damage from that, because you know the explosive damage does a lot to limbs, I think, and that's what's going on. She's taking a lot more damage to her legs than old Codsworth does, because Codsworth ain't got no legs. He don't need them. He's our hovering robot. It makes you wonder how long. I mean, his battery's been going strong for 200 years. Wow. Maybe he recharges somehow. Who knows? Either way, I'd love to have a Codsworth, man. Not only would be a good companion, but they seem to be intelligent, nearly like sentience, or maybe even they are sentient beings. I don't know.
Should've just run.
Alright. Now, we can,
Getting tired yet?
go up on the roof and get that, bobblehead. And then we could bounce. I don't remember what it is, like barter or... I don't know. We'll find out when we go up there. Alright. Little bit of junk. Alright. I don't know if I'm in the right one here. I think it's that one actually over there. So, we'll find a quick way up here. Yeah, the fatigue and all that. It's like you really can't explore for that long a time, and it's like Seems kind of unrealistic how fast you get tired in there. Actually, I think it's over here. Yeah, it's over here. And I take fall damage, so... Or else I would just jump off of here.
Bingo.
Fusion cores last 10% longer. Cool. Let me drop my guns there. Now we are heading down. Long way down up in the scaffolding up here. You know, when you look at this metal grating and how many holes are in it, like you look at all those holes, man, you know, it'd be like, I'd hate to think of what it'd be like to walk on this crap way up there. Feel like you're gonna fall through every step. That's pretty terrifying. Okay. And we'll keep heading down till we get to the ground. Now we're gonna head on back. Tell that settlement the good news. Oh shit, what's up, Hero Sparrow? What's happening? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Friday night over here, and I guess we'd be, hell, I don't know. We're all the way around the world from each other, east, west, south. I don't know. You call us the West, I guess, right? Just Friday night in the West, man. Chilling like a villain. That's all. Played quite a bit of Overwatch earlier. A couple of friends. Had a good time. Won most of the night. Only lost like 2 games out of probably 15. Kicking butt, man. Sometimes we have good nights. Feel lucky. We win a lot. Hero Sparrow says it's early morning Saturday where he's at. Cool. You live in the future, man. I'm just roaming the Commonwealth, having a good time in the apocalypse, man. Per usual. I love Fallout, and I love the apocalypse that we get to roam around in. Feels so real, man. Sometimes to escape into this fantasy alternate Earth is a good time sometimes. Escape from our normal cares and concerns and worries that we deal with every day, man. It's nice to be able to have such a good way to escape. Fun for everyone. There's no downside to it. I'm not playing survival mode right now, but I am running everywhere from place to place. Sorry, I got a toothpick in my mouth. Let me take it out. As if my lisp isn't bad enough. You know, talk with a toothpick the whole time. Do you have any settlement mods? Let me see. I have the scrap that settlement, which lets you take down like shrubs and bushes and pick up all the trash piles and crap like that. I really like that one because, you know, it frustrates me all the trash on the ground and piles of leaves and crap. So that one I really like. Scrap that settlement. And as in settlement mods? No, I don't. Do you have any good ones that you recommend there? Any that you really enjoy? I watch some of the videos where they show like Fallout mods and all the things that they have, and some of the settlement mods are really awesome, like what they've done with them all and cleaned them up and built them all up. I really like it. It really makes it feel unique each and every time if you are willing to try out some settlement mods or, you know, things like that. I really like
Find
that.
those raiders?
Player homes. I don't know if you ever experiment with player homes, but that's a pretty cool thing to look into too.
Yeah, I took care of him.
No kidding?
There's all sorts
That's
of
the
them.
best piece of news we've had around here for a good
Dude, you
long
need to
time.
get
So
workshop
we've been
deals,
talking. We decided if you came through
workshop
for us, we'd join up with the
decorations,
Minutemen.
and
If we
USO.
want things to get better,
Workshop
we've got to start
decorations
helping each other.
and
So
USO.
we're in. You can count on us if you need help down the line. Thanks again, friend.
USO. Why does that sound familiar? I think I might have that. That's like the, is that the sorting one? I thought that was just for mod authors. I didn't know like what it does for my settlement. I want to find a mod that lets me plant, you know, like we can pick hub flowers and crap in the wasteland, but we should be able to plant those. Why not? It's a plant. Let me think. Workshop decorations. I'll check those out next time I go to the store, or the mod, whatever you call it. Call it a mod store, but that's not what it is. Ah, shit. That Buster. You know a mod for being able to plant, like, wasteland plants? I know there's one out there, but I don't know what it's called. And I've searched for it, but I couldn't find it.
Hostile life sign. Rise a little dust up to get the oil flowing, eh?
Yelp. Yelp, the hero says. Yep. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. I heard you coming, dog. Oh, that was gruesome death, dog. My bad. I just wanted to put you out of your misery. The only good thing about a 38 is you pick up ammo from start to finish in this game of 38. I hate autocorrect. Yeah, it can be pretty frustrating sometimes. I'm reading you loud and clear, bud. Don't even trip. It's all good. We'll get it all worked out. Might take a couple of tries there. You're still a way better typer than I am. Way faster. Go ahead and save it here. Alright, on our way. Guess I could put my rifle away. Hero Sparrow says, especially when you have a Swedish autocorrect in talking English. Yeah, oh man, I bet. I mean, heck, it's amazing enough that you can speak two languages anyway. That's pretty crazy. I think it's an admirable skill. Everyone should have, but they don't. Uh-oh, what do we got here?
Someone there?
Come on down, dog. Got them both with one shot. God, this dog's head rolls so fast down this hill. I can barely catch it. Going back to Sanctuary to talk to good old Preston Garvey. Gonna brush some more work on us, I'm sure. But he's gonna give us promotions that mean nothing. Like, you don't even get a gun, a hat, a badge. You want to be General of the Minutemen? Okay, you're General of the Minutemen. And, like, you don't, like, nothing to identify yourself by or anything like that. Like, wow, that sounds like a prestigious thing. You don't get a badge or nothing? Codsworth is a cold-blooded killer. He's the man. Get him, Codsworth. Codsworth is like a gangster robot, man. I like him. I like Codsworth. I tend to like robot companions, you know, of all sorts, like Chappie, Wally, you know, Codsworth. I mean, there's innumerable, you know, like Ratchet and Clank. You got Clank. I don't know if you ever played that. I always like the robot friends, man. Weird question. What do you think of feminists? I think feminism is like, in the beginning, I think it was for a good cause. Women didn't have all of the rights that men had, and they couldn't vote, and, you know, they couldn't really enter the workforce. And but I feel like over time they've not only accomplished all their goals, but they never stopped fighting. And at one time they were fighting against, like, capitalism, and now they're fighting against men. And there was a documentary movie that was just made about this called The Red Pill. It's right now out in theaters, and feminists were trying to ban it. And, like, you know, they always talk about I think just the short answer is, I think feminists are full of shit. They say they're about equality, but all they do is fight against equality. And they want privileges. They want all the privileges and none of the downsides. That's what I think. I've made videos on this on this same channel. So if you ever want to hear me talk about this or any other questions, I've said a lot of this on there. But I don't mind at all answering any questions ever. You know, I like to. To me, it comes down to morality. You know. I believe that everyone should have equal rights.
Give me a holler if you need anything.
And like Hillary Clinton, for instance, they asked her, "What don't you think in America females should have to sign up for the draft to get grafted in times of war? Because right now men can't even go to college here in America without signing up for the draft. You know, so that you can be cannon fodder for some stupid war, right?" And Hillary Clinton said, "No, I don't think the women should have to sign up for the draft." So it's like, and she claims she's a feminist, and that's the way it is with all feminists. You know, they all say that they're about equality, but they never seem to want women. They only want the good stuff. There's a comedian named Bill Burr that talks about this, and he's like, women want, you know, they, you know, pay for the movie. We don't want that. You know, equal pay. We want that. You know, they just go down the list and all the positives they want and none of the negatives they want. But equality doesn't work like that. With power comes responsibility, comes hard work,
long time ago.
comes all this stuff, you know, and
Distant past ain't
I think
so
they're
distant
fighting for
you.
a bunch of
I saw you
flawed
leave that
causes, actually. You know, it's like
This whole
they say that
world's
there's like
some
a 1 in
bad
5 rape
dream you
statistic. It's
can't
been
wake
proven
up
not true, and no
from,
amount of
isn't it?
truth can
The
persuade
psych can
them.
help you, kid.
They talk
It
about a
always
wage
has
gap,
answers.
which has been
Just gotta bring some
definitively
jet
proved
so I can see what it wants to
fallacious,
tell you.
and yet they won't. Like no amount of truth
Here.
will
I already have some.
change
You'll
their
kick
minds,
yourself,
though,
huh?
and that's so they end up in a
This'll do.
really weird
Now,
position, you
Let me
know.
ride the high to where the sight wants to take me.
And you know, they
Bryan
just
City holds answers,
feminists.
but they're locked
There's this
tight.
great line by
You
this
ask
chick
them what
named
they
Karen
know.
Strom in that
People's
documentary,
hearts
The Red
chained
Pill.
up with fear
And she's
and
talking about
suspicion.
how,
But you find it. You find
you know how,
that heart that's gonna lead you to
I
your
kind of lost
goal.
my train of thought here.
Oh, it's
You know,
It's
women
bright,
say just our
so
language
bright
alone.
against the dark alleys it walks.
Oh, it's
That's-
totally misogyny.
that's
Hero Sparrow
what
says,
you
yeah,
need
third
to
wave
do,
sucks, and
kid.
it's almost
Follow the
misogyny.
signs
Yeah,
to
it totally,
the
no,
bright
it absolutely is, no doubt about it. She says, you know, like feminists say,
Took more
just the way that we
reading
use
than
words,
usual.
like policeman
I'm
instead of
gonna
police
make
officer,
the
or
rest,
fireman
kid.
instead of, you know, fire officer, fire person, or, you know, they say that just saying like policemen dissuades women from wanting and being able to be
In
policemen.
the commonwealth.
But yet they call everything that's evil in the world patriarchy. And everything that's good is feminine. And they say toxic masculinity and stuff.
You know that settlement you sent me to help?
It has evolved into
They've
a war on
decided to
men. There's
join
really
the
no way
military.
around it.
That's great news. I knew you were the right person for the job.
And
By the
so,
way,
yeah,
you should
I,
have
like
one
a
of these
lot of
flare
people,
guns. You can use it to signal for help.
you know,
from any nearby minute.
that's one of the
Not
reasons
much
that I
use
started a
left.
YouTube channel
And once we
was,
have more
even
allied
though
settlements,
I'm
you'll
just
have
one
help
guy,
whenever
I'm
you
just
need it.
some
I don't think I ever told
dude
you what
out
happened
there.
to me.
I just
Oh,
feel
I
like,
ended up
you know,
with
my
the
dad
last
died
one.
like 2 years ago, and I just feel
I
like
figured you'd tell me.
when he was
Third of
alive, it was always about him, and I would always listen to what he had to say and this and that. And I never really
I
felt
was
like
with
I had a
Colonel Hollis's
voice,
group.
you know, or I was
We were the
ever
only
had a
few
seat
of
at the
us. We never
table,
found
you
a
know.
safe place to settle.
And when my dad died,
As
I
long
kind
as
of
you don't give up.
realized,
I'm
like,
not about to give up.
if I don't step
But I
up
can't
and
protect the
feel like
Commonwealth
I
all
have
by
a spot
myself.
at the table
Hell,
now
I can
to
barely protect
speak,
these people.
then I'm
That's
never
why I'm
going
talking
to.
you.
My father's dead and
I
buried in
can't
the ground,
rebuild the
burnt
Minutemen,
in ashes.
But I think you can.
If I am not allowed a voice in this world now, then I'm never allowed one, because I wasn't allowed one when I was
That
a
means a
child.
lot coming from you, Garvey.
I appreciate
And all,
that.
you know, and
Does that
so
mean you'll do it?
regardless, you know, I'm not
Okay.
the most eloquent of speaker. I'm not the most well-informed person ever.
Good.
But I do seek
Good.
after the truth, and I
Welcome
want to
aboard.
find out the truth in this world, and I
Like,
want to
this is
make
a whole
moral
new start for
decisions,
Minutemen.
and I want
And
to
the
do what's
Commonwealth,
right.
too. Don't worry. I'll be right beside you all the way.
I'm a flawed person like everyone else. But I think when we start blaming any single group in the world
That's
for all of our
quite a
problems,
promotion you just
like
gave
feminists
me.
say, all the
The leader of the
problems
Minutemen
come
has
from
always held the rank of
patriarchy.
general.
All the problems
last
come
leader
from
was
men,
General
right?
Becker.
All of them.
After he died back in '82, nobody could agree
And
on who should
and
take his
it's
place.
really, it's like
One good
any
thing
time
about
in
being the last
history,
Minuteman is
any one
there's
group
no one to argue with me when I say
does
you're the new
nothing but
general.
blame any one
Now
other
it's
group
your
for
job
all of their
to make more than an
problems.
empty
It
title.
always turns out bad.
Gotten word about a settlement that's being threatened by
And it's
rapists.
really crazy that women constitute about 52% of the world's population, so 48% would be their men or other. And so they're a majority, but they act like they're such victims. And in some countries, they actually are victims, in many parts of the
I'll
Middle
mark
East.
it on your map.
There's
Find out what
slavery
they need.
and female sex slavery,
settlements supporting
and
their cause.
that's been going on for thousands of years. They were called the Ottoman Empire, empire of slaves and crap, and that was the Middle East. It's always been Islam. Islam, it's okay to have slaves and everything, even to this day. And female sex slaves and all that sort of thing. Even little boys and girls, they chain them up to bed. And and they also just blame the West for every problem. And see, so they're just blaming that one group for all the problems. I'm not blaming any one group for all the problems. I'm just saying these certain groups out there are messing it up for everyone. The extreme religious, usually Islam in our modern world. The extreme ideological, feminism is a good example of that. They have extreme ideas, and it's usually And you know, what's really mind-boggling about I could talk forever about this issue, so you know, you could stop me at any time. But you know, they are the ones that claim, you know, only men can abuse women and this sort of thing. And yet they are the ones that, like, if there's like a men's rights thing and all they want to do is just talk about their problems, women are like hitting them, throwing stuff at them, screaming in their faces, pulling fire alarms. All of the physical violence and the actions are being done by the feminists. And, you know, statistic bears it out that women are responsible pretty much on a 1-to-1 ratio for domestic violence and for all sorts of issues. So, you know, women just need to step up to the plate and take some responsibility, too. It's not men responsible for everything. You know, women do shit, too. I mean, everyone knows this. It's just that some people don't want to admit it. They just want to pretend like they're never the cause of any issues in this world. And I think we all are at blame for some issue. You know, there's some issue where all of us are going to be blamed at something. You know, nobody's flawless. Okay. See, Hero Sparrow says, you know, women protested outside a building one day when the men sat down and talked about rights and emotions, and women made so many... Okay, yeah, I think you're talking about one of the same events that I started talking about right there, where they pulled a fire alarm and they're talking with bullhorns and ringing cowbells and banging pots and pans and doing all sorts of crap. I mean, it's really ridiculous. Now, if they were about equality, you would think it would be important for them to hear what men have to say. If the women, you know, feminists like to say that we are not female, so we can't know what they have to go through and we shouldn't make decisions on their bodies, right? Meanwhile, they think that they fully understand what men are going through and won't even let them speak to have it be words in the air, you know? And it's like, you know, if they were about equality, then both people's problems are worthy of care and negotiation, and there are probably things that we can do to make life better for everyone on this planet. And until we start looking at it like that, instead of like, oh, this group is to blame for this, you know, the whole flipping group, we're never gonna get anywhere, you know? Because all black people or all Chinese people or all Muslims or all Chinese or all Mexican or all Scottish or Irish or English or Italian, all of women or all of men or all of boys or all of girls is never gonna be quite true. I mean, we're all have our issues. Hero Sparrow says, wild plants, drinks, and chems for settlements is the mod you wanted. Wild plants, drinks, and chems for settlements. Oh, sweet. Thank you for finding that out for me. I'm going to look that up. Wild plants, drinks, and chems. Try to remember it. Repeat it a couple times. Alright. I get carried away with decluttering. Before I know it, I've decluttered a butt ton if I don't stop myself. Go and do the next quest here. Green Top Nursery. Pardon me. Let's check it out. Yeah, so, I don't know. I think feminism, like, really lost their way. I think that the pendulum swung too far over the one way. Oh, the UFO came overhead. I think the pendulum swung too far the one way and needs to swing back. We need to get to a spot where we truly do have some equal rights. I want equal rights all the way around. Men, women, gay, straight, black, white. I don't care. I only care about the content of people's character. You know, if they're a good person, if they're a moral person, you know, an empathetic person, a person that can be real with you. These are virtues in my world. These are what, you know, loyalty. You know, if a person's trustworthy, if they're honest,